You're listening to the Bitcoin.com podcast. Our guest today is the Working Money Channel.
This episode is brought to you by the Tonio BlockCard. Earn up to 6.38% back on every merchant purchase with no limits. BlockCard is the easiest, cheapest, and best way to use your cryptocurrency to buy what you want, when you want, at over 50 million merchants globally. BlockCard has no exchange fees, no deposit fees, and no transaction fees. You can sign up at getblockcard.com, deposit funds, and instantly get access to your virtual card. We'll mail you a physical card too. You can also sync it with Apple or Google Pay. If you hold cryptocurrency, then you need to get BlockCard today. Visit getblockcard.com.
I'm your host, Dustin Plantholt. Join us as we dive into the world of economics, politics, tech, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. For even more crypto-related news, sign up at news.bitcoin.com or follow us on Twitter at Bitcoin.com. Now let's bring on our guest. Today, we'd like to welcome on the Working Money Channel, but I'm going to call him Derek. Welcome to the Bitcoin.com podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And you know, you and I, we know each other offline, and you have one of the most engaging shows on YouTube for those that are looking to learn more about this emerging class, the digital assets. Do you do this for fun, or do you do it to entertain people like me? Like, do you still enjoy it?
Yeah. I mean, I just actually had my 2-year anniversary with the channel. I believe it was June 12th. And so I've been doing it for just over 2 years now. And, I've made a point to kind of create at least one video every single day because it gets me engaged as well. I do the research. And I like to put out the content. I mean, I was doing the research anyway before I had the channel. So, when you're in cryptocurrency, you kind of want, for anything for that matter, you kind of want to, get to learn as much as possible about it, or at least that's my personality. I like to learn as much as I can about whatever I'm getting into. And so with cryptocurrency, I was doing the research. And so I thought, you know what? I have a film television background. Maybe I should start making videos. And so I've been making a video a day, at least a video a day for the last just over 2 years.
Wow. And you've built up quite the following. Well, I am sure when it comes to digital assets or cryptocurrency, I'm smarter than the average person in it. But you really educate a lot of super intellectual people out there in the world. Like, people come to you for advice. Does it ever make you go, wow, or did you see it coming?
To be honest with you, no, I didn't see it coming. And realistically, I started out with a very limited knowledge, but, the more you learn about it, the more you get excited and the more you want to learn more about it. And so it's kind of humbling because I do feel like, in a way I do. I mean, obviously, if I've been doing the research for this long, I do probably know more than the average person. But, it just eventually, it evolved that way. So, I have to be responsible with, what I say about what. Of course, I don't want to give anybody, bad advice, so to speak. But I do have people who, for example, are coming, came from overseas last year. I met some fans of the show who were coming from England, and they came over. They said, "Hey, look, we're gonna be in your city, and can we pick your brain about crypto? Maybe just meet us at a pub and." We'll pick your brain about cryptocurrency, and we'll buy you a pint, and we can have a good time.
Oh, you've become a celebrity. I mean, that must be just like it must be really fulfilling.
In a way, it's like so weird because I never thought I would be famous at all, for one, but also, famous in this kind of way, which is not really famous, but it's kind of famous,
Sure.
In that people know you. If people are in crypto, and, especially if they're into certain kinds of cryptocurrencies, they might know your name and they probably have heard, a video or two of yours on YouTube. And so, it really is quite remarkable.
Yeah, and you come off as being just so likable and humble and like the average guy. Like you don't talk over my head. You typically bring things down to a level that Dustin says, "Aha, I get it," or "That makes perfect sense." I mean, who did you learn from? Yeah. I mean, this is such a new space. So who taught you?
To be honest, I pretty much just taught myself. I mean, I got in it when I think a lot of people got into it just before the last bull run in 2017. And, when your head's in the game for it, several hours every single day and you're reading and you're watching videos and you're absorbing content, you tend to just learn, or at least that's, I mean, me personally, maybe that's not for everybody, but me personally, like I've just, learned more and more along the way. And eventually, my knowledge is, it's remarkable because when I'm talking to other people, I don't even realize sometimes how much I know about cryptocurrency until they ask a question. And, I could go on for hours, about a topic. And then, to the point where they might be like, okay, I've had enough. I don't want to know any more than that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, I just take it for granted now just because I've had this knowledge for a while. So it's, it is what it is.
All right. So I'm new. Well, I'm not new to crypto, but I'm new. This show is targeting people that are coming in for the first time or for those that have been here. I'm new. It's very overwhelming. I mean, coming in, typically, I've read a lot of things that aren't very positive or that are over promises. I mean, when I got into crypto, Derek, working money channel, when I got into crypto, I saw some YouTubers and they gave me some really great price predictions that this coin, if I buy it today, it will probably go up about 1,000 times my purchase price within 24 hours. Like that was my first way in. And yet that is not who you are. You do not overpromise people. You just lay out the facts to say, here is the use case or here's the utility. So talk me through that. I'm new and I only know what I've seen. Should I believe it?
Okay, let's be honest. Cryptocurrency is lucrative. A lot of us get into it because we have seen the gains that can be had based on, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other cryptocurrencies going up 50, 60, 100, 1,000x, or thousands of percentage points. So there is that attribute about cryptocurrency that's obviously very alluring. But realistically, the market does cycle, and you are not going to make X amount by tomorrow. That is not a realistic expectation. So there are other things about cryptocurrency that you can learn about that, might get you interested in investing in said cryptocurrency for future potential. Because down the road, right, there are, use cases for, different kinds of cryptocurrencies. Obviously, will have different kinds of use cases. And depending on what kind of problem a cryptocurrency solves, that is essentially for the future where we're going to derive value from that cryptocurrency. So, everybody looks to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of the leader of the pack. It is seen as this store of value, this kind of digital gold 2.0. And so people are looking towards Bitcoin, for example, as that. People might look towards other cryptocurrencies like XRP because it solves a problem like cross-border transactions, and value will be derived from that particular cryptocurrency because it solves a problem in that particular facet of the economy. So, there are lots of different reasons why cryptocurrencies should go up in price. But yeah, I'm never going to overpromise this cryptocurrency will do this by this date because that's just unrealistic. None of us have a crystal ball. So no, we can't see the future.
Well said. And what advice can you give to those who've been in it for a while? I mean, many times people can be trapped in an idea. They become what we like to refer to as maxis, that there is one to rule them all. Like, will there only be one digital asset that will win, or could there be more?
There will definitely be more than one cryptocurrency that will win in the coming years. Now, we just entered the 2020s, and we are just starting to get the ball rolling with cryptocurrency adoption. Regulatory clarity still isn't really clear in lots of parts of the world, the United States included. So, to say that one cryptocurrency is going to solve all of the world's problems is somewhat naive, I think. So, you got to look at the different projects. You got to look at what kind of use case each cryptocurrency might help to solve. And so, yeah, basically, there are many coins in the space. They're all going to perform differently based on the different use cases that are going to be attributed to them. And so, yeah, no, there won't be one coin to rule them all. Obviously, there are many different coins in the space. They're all going to strive to solve different problems. So I do think that at the end of the day, there are going to be many winners and definitely some losers in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, right now there's over 5,000 different cryptocurrencies out there.
That's remarkable.
And yeah, most of them are probably going to disappear in the next. I don't even want to give a time frame, but they can't all exist. They can't all exist. They can't all solve the same problems. So the strongest ones will thrive. Obviously, cream rises, and unfortunately, a lot of them will disappear.
Yeah, and what's interesting, that kind of the outside perspective. I mean, there are many people around the world that perceive somebody that buys or owns Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to be anti-government or to be anti-authority. Yet, when I listen to your videos, that is not you. You are not somebody that is against structure. You're looking to, you're looking to educate people on the good of this space and the good that this brings.
That's right. I mean, with Bitcoin and where it came from, right? It came out of the financial collapse, the 2008, 2009 financial collapse, right? So that was kind of the ideology that a lot of early Bitcoin proponents prescribed to. So, this down with government, down with the system kind of ideology was always kind of like in the forefront for people who were interested in Bitcoin and who invested in Bitcoin, or rather, I don't even really know if I would consider it investing in Bitcoin at that time, because I don't think they knew how much a Bitcoin would fetch 10 years down the road, to be honest with you. I think that they were just getting into it because it was an alternative currency. It was anti-government, and they were going to use this type of currency to, transact in an alternative marketplace, so to speak.
Let me ask you the next question then. You're looking out using your crystal ball, 3 years, 5 years from now. Where do you see it heading?
Well, I think, for one, we still need regulatory clarity. We still need to get a good grasp on where the world is going to be with cryptocurrency. Now, companies like Ripple have obviously made, large strides to, educate folks. Last summer they took out a page in, the Wall Street Journal or something like that, saying, don't paint us all with one brush. All cryptocurrencies aren't for, illegal purposes. They aren't to conduct crime, to launder money. Some of them actually will be used in the real world to be able to, solve problems. So this is kind of what the world has to understand, is that cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, DLT, all that is going to solve problems in the future. And there are many different problems like supply chain, cross-border transactions in the case of Ripple and XRP, and other coins will do other things. There are always going to be, I think there will always be cryptocurrencies like Monero, for example, or Dash privacy coins that are going to exist, maybe more kind of aligned with the Bitcoin mentality, for criminals to launder money and to maybe make illicit activities. But those aren't going to be the majority, I don't think, of cryptocurrencies. I think at the end of the day, we're going to see most cryptocurrencies exist in a marketplace or exist in a world where they will solve problems. Some will be used for investments like Bitcoin, Gold 2.0. And yeah, that's kind of how I see the future. That's kind of how I see the future.
It's fascinating to see how this ecosystem is being built around us. I mean, the sponsor of this episode is Turnio BlockCard. So now that for those of us that when he got into cryptocurrency, you didn't think about it day one of, okay, well, how do I get out? All right, so I bought it, but can I use it? That have these debit card providers, which are now giving you this opportunity that should you want to get out or should you want to buy something. We've also interviewed Travala, which allows you to book hotels using your cryptocurrency. Like, did you see this coming, or are you now going, I can't believe where it is?
You know what? I mean, in 2017, when we were all buying cryptocurrencies as a speculative investment, we were hearing rumblings that, this is what cryptocurrency could be in the coming years. Now, maybe the years have just flown by the last 3 years, and it seems like it was just yesterday that we were in the last bull run in a lot of ways. And in other ways, it seems like forever. But I don't know. I mean, I had a feeling it could have gone this way in that, we could have credit cards and pay for, goods and services with cryptocurrency through a Visa or a MasterCard type thing. But I actually didn't think it would happen this quick, to be honest with you. I thought that maybe the adoption would happen kind of over more gradually and over a longer period of time. Now, of course, we're faced with the pandemic, COVID-19, and that has changed a lot of things in the world. There's a bigger push for, cashless transactions. There are already countries that have gone cashless or mostly cashless. So, cryptocurrency was it seems as though it's the next logical step in this regard with regards to purchasing goods and services, especially since we have the global marketplace, right? How often do we now go on Amazon and buy something and it comes from a different country other than the United States or somewhere, right? It's becoming more commonplace that we'll see more people around the world using, websites like Amazon to make purchases. And it only makes sense to be able to do that through cryptocurrency because of the conversion, the speed of conversion. We've heard about CBDCs being introduced. We know XRP helps with those, almost instantaneous cross-border transfers. So exchange rates, like the whole idea of having to exchange one currency to another is going to change dramatically because of that. So it all makes sense. We live in a global economy. People can sell to someone across the world. Cryptocurrency does seem like the next logical step in fulfilling that.
Now, well said. And kind of final thoughts you have to those around the world that are looking to get to know you a little more?
Well, you can find me on YouTube. I'm Working Money channel on YouTube. Also, I'm on Twitter at Working Money CH. That's CH, the first two letters in channel. So I do a video a day, guys. And if you're interested in learning more about cryptocurrency, you can check out my show.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us on the Bitcoin.com podcast.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it, guys.
You've listened to another episode of the Bitcoin.com podcast. Subscribe at news.bitcoin.com, where your journey begins.